me on this beautiful day in Orlando.
Absolutely.
So happy to be here. Wow, bright lights, big city! I love it, baby.
Clearly, this is not your first time here in Orlando, yes?
No, it's not. Well, not my first time. I've been here before. I didn't make it to the con last year, and so many wonderful fans are thanking me graciously for being here now. So happy to be in Orlando.
1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. Make some noise one more time. The vibe of this panel is supposed to start off with Star Wars. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one. You heard of the series? But there are a lot of folks in this room that are longtime fans of yours, going back to school days. So obviously, you coming from a performance background, as a singer, all that fun stuff. How did you get into this space of performance?
Well, I started on Broadway at 7 years old, so I had a childhood. You know, they say that when you actively have the experience, that experience can change your life. It can also help you measure the moments in your life when you are moving and growing in a way that you never had before. You can listen to people tell you what to do and how to live your life, but until you have the experience, then you truly start to get it. So I was a child actor on Broadway who had the experience of being able to be around professionals at a young age. And that, you know, cultivated my love for creativity, my love for performing, and my abilities. You know, as an actor, people think maybe you're just naturally gifted, and many are. And some folks work hard to get where they get to. But you're always honing and learning and refreshing your craft because it comes out of a passion of desire. And if you desire something and have a passion for it, no matter what it is, and you dedicate and you sacrifice your time to further your experience, then you win. And it becomes a win-win situation. So it's been a lot of years for me. The good news is that I've done the check-in over the years. And you know, when I check in today, I feel like a kid in a candy store.
Yes. Yes.
Playing that guy, Moff Gideon, and being able to be in the Star Wars universe, from that to being able to be in Better Call Saul, which is now on the air. Being able to be in The Boys, which is airing next week. All the way back around The Godfather of Harlem, playing Powell Jr. I have the opportunity to play a lot of different characters and exercise a lot of different demons, but also further my passions and my desire to be in a creative space. And anyone can do it as long as you spend time. 10 minutes a day, I say. 10 minutes that you spend today can change your tomorrow. And that's what I do every day. I change my tomorrow and I make it better.
Those are tools Now, in your career, you played the quintessential antagonist. Not necessarily bad guy, but antagonist. Even when you're right, you're never really wrong in the way that you do these things. Where does that come from, to be able to pull that off so well?
Well, you know, I never want to play a character who's any one thing, so I try to keep my mind open to play characters who have the ability to think of themselves as doing something for a good reason.
Yes.
And so there might be something that you as an audience don't know. I might hold that back from you. How I really feel is that I can control the chaos in a way to make the world better. And I'm going to convince you that I can do that somehow, some way. And eventually, maybe I'll just tell you that. But for now, I don't think you're ready to hear that. So I'll manipulate you in a certain way until the moment comes where I can say, hey, here's the bottom line. People need to be told what to do because they don't have the power to tell themselves what to do or to declare their own self-esteem or validate themselves in a way that is better than hearing the validation from someone else. So when you're able to say, thank you for your validation, I feel the same way, it is in concert with my own validation because my own validation is number one. It's the thing that means the most. When you love yourself beyond all measure, your good parts, your bad parts, your faults, you then learn how to accept yourself for who you are. And then you get that you have something to offer. Each and every one of you in this room has something very special to offer, and the only thing that might be, for some, not all, standing in your way is you. So get over it.
So literally launching off of that, people having something to offer. Let's get to these questions, because you guys have been standing here. We're going to start off on this side since you're closest. Hello, friend. How are you doing?
Mark Coach. Hey, hi. So I've been a fan since the early Spike Lee days. I forget the.
Take a deep breath.
I totally just brain farted.
It had
The Usual Suspects.
Yes.
And Gus Fring, your performance. That's one of my favorite performances of yours. So here's the thing. In 2014, I found myself in Denver, and a group of friends of mine watched the sunset on Flagstaff Mountain in Boulder, and we had breakfast at the Boulderado. And I believe I saw you when we entered, gave you the head nod, and we proceeded. Now, I don't expect you to remember.
But you clearly do.
But
Yeah.
were you in Denver in 2014?
Yes, I was. I was in Denver around that time. Was it winter, summer, fall,
It was
spring?
May, and you were wearing a tracksuit at the time.
I'm going to say that was me. I hate to disappoint. That was me, because I do give the nod. I ski out in Vail once in a while. It was me. I sent you so much love. Thanks for that great memory.
What about more women, right? Like 8 years from now, somebody's going to bring this up. Were you on stage? Yes, Fred.
Hey, what's going on, Giancarlo?
How are you?
Very nice to meet you. So, when I was watching you as Gus Fring, something that I was extremely impressed by was your range within that character. How you can go from like the professional business owner to like a very hidden secretive drug lord. So, I wanted to ask you, is there any specific type of technique you utilize before or as you get ready to step on set, such as Meisner or Strasberg, anything like that, when it comes to your acting?
You know, I love Meisner and Strasberg, and I studied for a little bit earlier in my career at the Actors Institute when I wanted to transition from being a musical comedy actor to a dramatic actor. And I'd love to say that I drew on one of those techniques to drop into Gus, but I didn't. What I drew from was my breath. It may seem funny, but if you all just took a second, took a deep, deep breath, and let it out, you'll find that you're a little more relaxed, a little more centered. And I've mentioned it in some articles that I've done in regard to people asking me about my technique for Gustavo Fring. Completely came out of my yoga practice, because I found my yoga practice or any kind of prayer or meditation sort of drops you into a place where you're listening like that. It's beautiful today. The fact that we can be out of our own brain and we can hear space. So what we don't do in our lives today, because we have cell phones and computers, and our own brains are a computer which does not turn off unless you turn it off. So when you're able to listen to that, then there's space for you, for me, for you to listen, for you to take me in, for me to listen, for me just to feel the vibration of the room. So that's the kind of space and honoring we need to give each other in conversations. That's not the kind of space and honoring that I gave to Gustavo Fring because I cared about that character. That's the attention to detail in the space necessary. I realized that I love the writing. And actors, when writing isn't so good, they try to change the words, but that plays onto their ego. I can say it better than what was written. So instead I ask, what is your intention? The other part of life that's really important is to set an intention. Intention for your life. What do you want? We're not just gliding through the universe willy-nilly. We have the availability. We're here for a reason. So why not ask what that reason is? What is my earthly obligation that I should be fulfilling? When you leave space, you leave room for that. So back to the character and the role, I couldn't make the writing better. I wanted to make the character deeper and have him slow down a little bit and to be an observer. How can you be an observer if you're always chitter-chattering like I am right now? How can I be a better observer? By looking into your eyes, drinking you in. Through your eyes, I can see everything about you. And giving that space for me to register that and take it in. And allowing that to wash over me. So I realized with Gustavo Fring, I can control the space between the words. In that space, there's room for you. There's room for me. And so this particular character is really special to me for reasons unbeknownst to many until tonight. Because yes, I was a badass. Yeah, you didn't know what he was gonna do. But you didn't know that it was all about settling myself and giving my attention, putting my attention someplace other than me. And I want to tell you, when you're centered in a conversation and you're looking at someone in the eye and you're giving them all of your attention, you're not worried about your cell phone, wherever that is, you're completely on, it makes people uncomfortable because we don't do that anymore. But that is love. The space of your time to share with each other is love, compassion, and it makes a difference in each and every person's life that you come into contact with. Sneak a creep right here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi. Sorry. I'm a big fan. Me and my dad both. And I just wanted to ask you, is there a bigger demand or is it harder to prepare for a villain than you would prepare for a good guy?
Wow, it's a great question. I prepare for each role differently as dictated by what my truth inside me tells me. The villain, to me, is more complicated because the expectation for many is the villain has all of these traits that you would imagine a villain should have to make you satisfied and hate him. But does he have the traits or she have the traits to have you like them as well? So it's more complicated for me because I don't want to play anything stereotypical. I want the villain to be a complete character, which means, to get into the philosophy of what I think, that I believe that people are intrinsically good. I believe that villains are good guys gone bad.
Yes.
So I try to give them those good qualities and allow them to have a goodness about them that just went astray, so that you're able to like them as well as hate them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Hello, friend. What's going on? I'm John. So,
Hey, John.
so a lot of your characters, like specifically from the boys in The Mandalorian, they're very much like, yeah, once I walk in the room, I'm in control. So there's a lot of other, movies and franchises and stuff that I feel like a character like that could work with. Is there any that you'd be interested in working on one day?
Oh my goodness, I want to work with these guys at Marvel. Come on. I know that we'll be trying to figure something out, but nothing's come up yet. But I know I'll get a chance to. I know there's Magneto. I know there's Let's go. I would have so much fun. I'd be so great in their universe. So, yeah.
A lot of people said Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom as
Might
well.
be a very good choice for you.
Let's put them all together. Let's do it all.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Hello, friend.
Hi, my name is Dan, and my question is, do you have any favorite behind-the-scenes stories from The Mandalorian you'd like to share with us?
Oh my goodness, if I were to launch into that, I think I would tell you too much, and I don't want to spoil anything.
We won't tell anyone.
Yes, he has
Say
shooters.
that.
Don't do
Where are
that.
the cameras in the room?
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one right there. Yeah, so I walked on the set not too long ago, and in fact we have a conversation about a line that was in the script, and I'm going to try to be general here. And I said, I think he should be saying this maybe. Well, John Favreau came down. He's an absolute genius. Let's call David Filoni down. Oh, he's probably walking his dog a lot. He brings his dog to the set. And so they did, and we were having this whole conversation. And John enters the conversation when David comes down, and he says, scratching his head, he says, so you broke 6 lightsabers, huh? And I went, oh no, he's scolding me in a very, very kind way. Everything gets out there. He was slapping my hand because in the press I said, look, I broke 6 of those sabers. And they're supposed to be invincible. Yeah, right. Anyway, in my fight with Mando. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that much. I have a lot of fun stories. I want to wait till you guys see season 3. I think you're gonna be blown away
Now, what is your experience as a potential fan with the Star Wars franchise? Were you into it before you got cast, or?
I'm very honest. I love the earlier movies, and they kind of left me behind.
I got you.
They lost me. I mean, I really thought, and so I'll tell you why. I love the power of myth,
Right.
and I loved George Lucas's connection to Joseph Campbell.
Gotcha.
They were friends, and so Mando, the Mando that we love now, this show that's so fantastic, and each iteration that's coming forth in the movies and wherever else is a little bit more focused on the hero's journey. And because we're at a time in our world where we need heroes, we need every one of you. We need our young people to understand and be empowered that they have the power to change the world when people are losing hope because things are so dire and disparate in so many ways. Why do I come to Comic-Con? Right here. I come to Comic-Cons to do this and to see people like this young lady here dressed up in wonder and enchantment and joy and in awe because we as adults, I'll speak for me, sometimes I've lost the way of playing, the idea that play is a part of my life. And young people play. People come to Comic-Cons, they play every day for 4 days. This is fantastic. They're able to get out of their own lives, even if their lives are great, and have a fantasy life that is enhanced by their imagination. And so this is what I love about the early Star Wars movies, and I lost a little bit in the middle, and I'm really happy to be back. I'm a huge fan. I think we need to be exploring other worlds, not only the worlds outside of ourselves, but the wonderful and enchanted world of imagination inside of ourselves.
Yes.
Wonderful thing.
Hello, sir.
Hi, yes, thank you. I'd like to know, do you find it harder to act as this thing on?
Yes,
Yeah. Is it harder for you to act or to do voice acting since you're pretty much using your voice for everything in the characters, or is that just as challenging as live action acting?
I was at the airport this morning, and I was in the middle of the gate area, and it was about 20 minutes before the plane was supposed to board. So I thought, oh, let me go hit the wall. So I went and hit the wall on the side, and then a guy came and stood next to me, and then the room kind of started to fill up. And then the gentleman on my right said, did they just call Orlando? I said, no, they called Salt Lake City. The guy on my left said, are you? Are you? I think you are. My voice really gives me away. Should I speak? I shouldn't speak. Oh, they just called Salt Lake City. That was really Salt Lake, sir. Yeah, I had a mask on the whole deal. And he was like, and when people ask me that question, are you who I think you are? I say, I don't know who you think I am. I should have said it like, I don't know who you think I am. Anyway, I love voice acting. Being on the mic takes me to another place. Again, my imagination soars. I have nothing to gauge it on. I have no film. I'm not acting with my whole being where I'm being filmed, but I'm acting with my imaginary being. And for me, being on the mic is one of the most special things I've ever done. I love doing so much. You know what I do on the mic because you hear me. It's a fantastic career for me, but it also keeps me in the vein of being like a kid. Because, you know, you can erase those takes. You're on the mic in a little room, imagining all this stuff, creating a voice that's not yours. It is the most fun ever, and I really enjoy it.
Hello, Brent.
What zombie movie would you like to play in?
Oh,
Oh my God, Night of the Living Dead.
Classic.
Yeah.
Literal classic.
Yeah, I want to go back to the classics. I would love to have been a part of that.
I like that. Thank you. Got somebody over there? There we go. Let it pop up.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, voice of God. That's what happens.
I'm ordained clergy, so yeah, there you go. Anyway, my question is, an actor always has to start somewhere. So going back what you were saying about early roles and stuff, I want to know if there's any stories you have of working with Stephen King on Maximum Overdrive.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have to go backwards in that respect. Stephen King, a wonderful author who I've read many times over and love his work, and he's translated some of his films into really, really great movies. And he was such a champion of mine on Breaking Bad, and publicly said so. And yes, Wilmington, North Carolina. Maximum Overdrive, in case for those who don't know, was Stephen King's directorial debut and the only movie to this date that he's ever directed.
Yes.
And so it was a real special treat to meet with him on that movie. He was really very well prepared, but it was a different animal for him. He is such a genius, and I found that working with him on that set was really genius. But when it got to the moment where I had to die, all he could tell me was just keep shaking. Keep shaking. I'm like, really? Yeah, just shake. Just shake. You shake so well, you shake so well. Just shake. Just shake. I'm like, Steven, you gotta be kidding. No, just shake. Just shake. Oh my gosh. I said, I thought you were brilliant, but you're really a hack. We had a lot to do on that movie, and our cinematographer, DP, Sherraro, so the lawnmower that went down the sidewalk, kind of a tragic story in a way. It hit a wood chip, and it took the DP's eye out. He was from Italy, and Italians. I'm Italian, half black, half Italian. He's a bubbly, really wonderful guy. And you figure he needed both of his eyes, and basically he said, it's okay, I got another one. I was like, oh! No, I'm serious. I'm not even kidding. I mean, the guy, he went to the hospital, his eye was gone, put a patch on, and he's back on the set. I mean, no, the resilience of people is sometimes really amazing. Maybe when the movie was over, he sued Steven and got a couple million out of it. but he was okay with it, and he finished the film. Kind of one of the things that stuck in my brain about having a good attitude, about being able to surmount any obstacle that gets in your way or your path. That film was a special one for me. They built a truck stop out on a lonely road. Stephen was really on his A game. And it's a very special genre movie, and I was really proud to be in it, especially with Emilio Estevez, another great actor.
Love it. Thank you. Hello, friend.
Hi there. Giancarlo, I just want to say thank you for your contributions to Star Wars. Obviously Star Wars is something that's a huge legacy franchise. Once you're in it, that's it. You're a part of something that's just huge to the world. So thank you for your contributions there. And it's just going to be something that's going to be remembered for a long, long time. My question for you is about, you just were talking just a moment ago about, behind the scenes stories with, the Mandalorian, and, in season 2, the finale, you had that epic fight with Mando.
Whoa, spoilers. Some people might not have seen it. Slow down.
Sorry, guys.
Slow down.
So, you had that epic fight, right? We see in the book of Boba Fett, Mando has some trouble, wielding the saber. You had, to me, no problem wielding that dark saber, right? Will we see you in the future wielding another special artifact, maybe another sword, maybe another saber, maybe the dark saber again? Is there anything you can tease for us coming forward for season 3?
I can know. I'm going to be wielding a Ford Taurus.
Wow.
Chop that shit right out. Excuse me, all young people.
Exclusive. That's real. Thank you. Hello, friends.
Mr. Esposito, thank you so much. You're a marvel. I think everybody would agree right now that you're the king of Hollywood. And
Yeah. Make that
my cousin Jake here, he has a better question than I ever could have come up with some time ago.
With your work in The Mandalorian, what does it feel like to completely have redefined what it means to be a villain in Star Wars?
So I was asking, I'm holding back the tears because it's really wonderful to receive so much love. So I just want to acknowledge that to maintain the connection to what I love to do until the hard work has been to have people see it, and to have this day come where people do see it and acknowledge it and see me, and that dedication I have is really a beautiful thing. I want to go back to a story in Central Park. I was doing Cat on the Hot Tin Roof in New York, and my friend Steve Chisholm, his youngest daughter, was playing my daughter in the play with James Earl Jones and I and Terrence Howard. And we walked in the park to go across the park after the show to have some dinner, and he stopped, he looked at me. And this is a guy who had a friendship, and I would send him books, Your Purpose-Driven Life, and tell me what to read, tell me what to read. Send him other books that would be of guidance to him. And he turned and looked at me, he said, you're a Jedi. I said, what? He said, you're a Jedi, dude. He said, all the books you send me when I call and need advice, you're always there. You're like a Jedi master. And they took 2 more steps, and my daughters were with me too, and two of them at that time, and they were walking behind us, and he took 2 more steps, he stopped, he said, wait a minute, you're gonna be in Star Wars. This is 7 years, wow. 8 years before I ever was asked to be in this. I'm telling you, this is the pot. And so once he told me that, I knew it was like I knew it. Right? I started to see it, visualize it every day. I didn't pine for it. I've been a busy guy. I knew that one day it could happen. And it happened. The day I got the phone call from Jon Favreau, who I knew, it was almost like I knew that was going to happen. This is how life works when you visualize and understand that what you think grows. And what other people think for you can also grow if you claim it. And so I liked the idea when he said it, and it felt kind of good. And when he said it, you know what I saw? This will blow your mind. When he said it, I saw myself with a cape. I'm not even kidding you. When he said those words, I visualized, I was standing there in the park, and I said, that would all work as long as I have I get the phone call from Jon Favreau. He says to me, I have good news. I said, what is it, John? He said, I wrote a role for you in Mandalorian, the new Star Wars show. And I said, what's the bad news? He said, the bad news is all the money is going into production. He said, what do you think? I said, I have one request. He said, what is it? I have to have a cake. That's right. See you guys. That's right. I not only got the cake, I got the lightsaber too. Yes! And in that scene that we referred to, no spoilers, every shot of that scene was me. I'm in that day, and I got a chance to work with Lateef Crowder, Emmy Award-winning Lateef Crowder, who is an amazing stuntman, leading to the 6 saber breaks. And the young man who came out, who was my stunt double, walked out, and he was like this. He was 50 pounds lighter than me. Really nice guy, lovely, my costume, the whole thing, shoulders forward like this. I said, John, how is this going to work? He said, I don't know. I said, I do. He said, can you? I said, I can do anything. Lateef and I went off in a corner, and boom, 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 boom. And we worked out that complete fight in 30 minutes. And he missed, he hit me, I missed, I hit him. It's just the way it goes sometimes. But every shot of that is me and Lateef. So in those moments, when he missed and went right into my head and I fell backwards on my back, the whole set, because star of the show, that particular scene at least, right? Everyone went, oh! And as I went backwards, I was saying, don't cut, don't cut, don't cut. I hit the ground on my back. I popped back up. Do not cut the camera. I grabbed my lightsaber. Boom, 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 boom. But look, when you get a chance, it's just a true analogy for me that what you think grows, what you visualize can happen if you believe it, and then have fun with life. Yes. I spent a lot of my life working so hard. Look, I'm here now with you having some fun, and boy do I love it.
The force is strong in you, sir. Okay, before we get started, we've only got like 6 minutes. So can we get through this quickly? How many folks do we have in this line over here? Can we blaze? Can we blaze? Okay, we're gonna start over here. Let's see if we can get through as many as we can.
Hi, I have a question. You play multiple different roles for villains, as Gus Fring, as Anton Costello in Far Cry 6, and Moff Gideon. What would you say is a common trait that they have, all your villain characters that you play?
I think some are more subtle than others, but I think all of them think a lot of themselves in one way or another.
Okay.
Brilliant. Thank you. Hello, Fred.
What's the most impactful piece of feedback you've ever received?
Most impactful piece of feedback you've ever received.
Be true to yourself. Honor yourself. Love yourself.
Hello.
Hi there. Yes, so saying that being behind the mic yourself, done some voice acting, and I agree with you, being open-minded and doing all these characters combining the different traits. So the question is, what is your best behind the mic moment when you're recording for said animation project?
Oh my goodness, well, I love Batman. I love Harley Quinn. I let go with Lex Luthor and Harley Quinn. DuckTales.
Yes.
Also,
Yes.
each of them different voices, different characters, but those are some of my best moments. I am currently going to be, it's announced, but it'll be announced in a big way, the voice of Sonos.
Hey.
So I will be in your living room saying, love yourself. What song do you want? Love yourself.
Thank you very much.
For those of you who don't know, Sonos is like Alexa. It's a whole music program that's coming out soon.
Hello, Fred.
Hi, I was just wondering for your show Godfathers of Harlem, since it's more of a historical drama, how you prepared to be Senator Powell? Like, did you watch his sermons or?
Read everything, read 865 pages of congressional record, looked at videos, studied his voice. A bigger responsibility for me to play someone who actually lived, and the fear is that they will come from their grave and harm me. A lot of research.
Hello.
I have a question regarding Gus Fring. I know I have a really strong connection to him as a character, and he's one of my favorite villains of all time. I'm just wondering if this is all in my head, or if you get a lot of inspiration from him and your other characters, like Stan Edgar from The Boys or Moff Gideon from Mandalorian.
There could be similarities, but I start fresh each and every time. I guess the one word, I don't think that, and this is really great for me because I don't think Gustavo Fring is a villain at all. Yeah, you can laugh at that.
That's right.
And I don't think that Stan Edgar is either. He's a company man who's doing his job, trying to keep these suits in line. So now you see where my head comes from. They can be labeled whatever you want. However, they are people. Gus Fring has trauma. It's the other thing about our lives. We carry trauma. We don't know how to let that trauma go. It haunts us. So I love Gus for a lot of reasons, but he was traumatized in his life in Chile before he came here. He was traumatized by Max Arciniaga's death, right? So then he wants revenge. So he goes from trying to be justful to a person to being vengeful. And it's a moral tale. Revenge is a bitterness that will hurt you. Jealousy is a bitterness that hurts you more than it hurts the person you're jealous of, right? So when you harbor and hold resentments, those are like boomerangs. They come back to get you. I hope I answered your question.
Brilliantly so. We got told that that's our time. I apologize, but you guys gonna be here throughout the weekend?
Come and ask me.
Come ask me. Definitely come.
I'm here all weekend. I'd love to talk. What a blessing you are!
Sir.